Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and as promised, I'm continuing the ladder grind with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I'm currently at top 4,000 in the world. I did reach it in my previous video, which I will link in the description below. Had some pretty nice wins there in yesterday's video, and today we're going to be going for 7,000 trophies, so will be a pretty nice milestone to get, hopefully. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm planning to do quite a few more ladder pushes for you guys in this season, so let's see how it goes. Anyways, found the first match against Dylan. Give him the good luck as he gives it back. Just going to split archers, and we do see a fire spirit, so probably going to be a cycle deck. Cannon as well, which actually doesn't tell me anything, because there are lots of meta decks that play fire spirit, cannon, skeletons, log right now. It's a very overpowered core, I would say, and giant skeleton comes down, so that narrows it down to either giant skeleton drill or giant skeleton hog rider. And either way, it's going to be pretty bad, because both of them are going to be pretty difficult counters. That being said, I'm going to go for a log here, maybe catch him off guard last second, and I do get one Xbow tick, but it doesn't really mean anything too much. And I still don't know what he has, because it could be Hog Earthquake, or again, it could be Drill Cycle. There are literally only two different cards in the decks. Goes for a Queen, gonna go Xbow opposite. I think we did outcycle the giant skeleton. Okay, no we didn't, unfortunately. I thought we outcycled it by one, but that's fine. I wish I could knight the giant skeleton, but I obviously can't. I need to respond to the queen, so I'm just gonna ice spirit on the giant skeleton, knight log the queen. We won't take any damage in either lane from his troops, however we will take a log on the right, which is fine. I definitely want to be going opposite lane to my opponent in this matchup, and I feel like if he had earthquake he would have used it already, so maybe it's going to be drill. Going to be a terrible matchup. Actually, 7-4, one of the best players in the world. I've made some videos on him, especially recently. I did make one where he came back. He said this is one of the few matchups where he actually just gives up, like, after single elixir, because it's so impossible. They have Fireball Log for every Xbow. They have Cannon to stall, probably the best building against Xbow. And they also have Giant Skeleton, making it even more impossible to get a connection. Somehow that Goblin does go onto the tower instead of my knight, which kind of sucks, so can't do much about that. I'm actually just going to Fireball here because he played a really high cannon. It's very annoying. It's a well-played cannon, but it means that I can't actually hit it with anything spell-wise. So I'm just going to Fireball tower, log as well, and he goes for an Archer Queen. I think I'll defensive Xbow, because if I offensive Xbow, it'll just be going into a giant skeleton. I don't think there's a point in that. He laughs and goes for a Fireball. He's probably going to log as well. But Xbow should at least take care of this Archer Queen, and he does go for the giant skeleton there, so might have to log on defense here against this Queen plus giant skeleton, because it is going to be pretty problematic. Yeah, I think I will. Then going to go for an Xbow. He just spent 6 elixir with the drill plus log. Unfortunately though, I'm going to have to commit to this drill. I wish I could have committed to the Xbow. I'm going to log last second on the cannon though, but yeah, as you can see, cannon's such an overpowered building, I can't do anything, and I'm already down a lot of damage. Again, going to predict the drill, because it's pretty much the only thing I can do to try and prevent all damage. If you react, sometimes it's glitch and doesn't even work. He goes for a cannon, so I'm just going to defensive Xbow again, and he's spamming emotes for some reason, even though, again, like I said, this is literally a 100-0 matchup. Very much impossible to win against, and he gives a good game, I guess he knows as well. So this is just terrible, but still going to try my best, because he is obviously not a great player, so and he's just spamming emotes. Going to defensive Xbow again. We outcycle the Fireball this time around, so should provide pretty good value. And he actually Fireballs on my tower, which I think is going to be a pretty good opening, because I'm going to go for archers, cycle back to my Xbow, and go in, because I have a defensive Xbow as well, supporting. Giant Skeleton comes down. He's going to have to go for a knight very early here, so that the Giant Skeleton doesn't walk up. He does go for the Fireball, and might go for a cannon as well. Actually goes for a log. Going to log on my own, and we do actually get a nice connection there. About 500 damage, however, we are still down 500 of our own, and looks like he's up elixir by about 4 or so right now. Okay, never mind, he just played those skeletons early for some reason. I'm going to Xbow again, knight as well. I think he's not back to giant skeleton. Okay, sadly he is, but I'm still going to have to commit a lot to this. I'm going to Tesla, going to skeleton, cycle back to my log, and get that as well. He's going to have to Fireball this, and we actually do get an Xbow on tower, which is absolutely huge. Going to Ice Spirit for the Queen, does jump, which freezes it, very nice. Going to Knight as well, block, and then Archers, and I think I'm going to switch to defensive Xbows now. We are up 1 Fireball pretty much, or a bit less than that, like 150 damage. Going to have to keep this lead as long as we can. However, the drills are guaranteed damage on our tower, which is really annoying. Going to Fireball the Giant Skeleton. We still need to keep our lead, and I think he's going to Fireball on his own, so I might have to offensive Xbow here, but we'll see. Does go for a drill, so going to go for a knight. There's the Fireball, so going to go skeletons, and somehow the Goblin was hitting my tower, So I'm going to go for an offensive Xbow now. Can't afford to let him keep going in. He goes for a drill, which means, okay, I thought he might not have enough for a giant skeleton, but he did. Gonna go skellies though. Log as well, perfectly counter this drill. Cycling back to another fireball. And gonna archers to just force out more elixir, then go for my fireball. Skeletons log, and drill is about to come in here, but I think as long as I'm going to place this ice spirit as late as possible, and oh my god, just barely in the nick of time we won. I'm going to BM him really hard, because he was BMing the whole time, and that is quite literally an impossible matchup, so I'm really glad I was able to win. Just really nice offense, defensive Xbow, stayed patient, and then punished him accordingly, and I'm really glad I was able to beat that, because that is super hard, like it's pretty much impossible, so hope it helps you guys out. In terms of how to play the matchup, I'm personally really glad I was able to beat it, because again, it is a terrible matchup, but that is going to put me at 6,950 trophies, top 3.6k. Alright, so getting right into the next match against Tiago BR, and he is going to be a pretty good player, I think, because he has 2 years in a row of 20 wins in the CRL 20-win challenge. Skeleton has come down, so maybe another cycle deck just in skeletons of my own. And then he goes for a log. I'm actually going to Xbow because I do have a skeleton coming down, and I do want to find out what he has. Okay, Rocket, Ice Wizard is basically guaranteed to be Icebow. I'm going to go for a Knight, and just kind of force out a Valkyrie, and then log as well. And then the Valkyrie should kind of, yeah, it has to come down because he can't Tesla a Knight. That wouldn't make sense, I feel like. And he played Ice Wizard, Valkyrie, so he is 2 away from his rocket right now. So I'm actually going to Ice Spirit and then let this Valk go, and then go for skeletons into my Xbow. And the reason for that is because he's 2 cards away from his rocket right now, and he doesn't have his Valkyrie in cycle, so he can't actually tank for my Xbow. So this should be a very lucrative connection. Going to go for a Knight as well, predict the Tesla. Defensive Xbow comes down, which is perfect. He's at about 3 elixir right now, so going to see either an Ice Wizard or a Tesla come down. Log instead, going to go for archers late. Perfect archers timing to avoid the log. Going to Ice Spirit for the Ice Wizard as well. We do catch it, so really nice. And that's basically going to be game, because he could log this. He does go for the tornado, but his tower's already down to 1,600, so I basically learned this from Betfist and also just being friends with a lot of good Xbow players in the community, like Kenny CR. We've talked about this matchup extensively. Valkyrie forced out. I don't think he's going to have enough for a rocket, so I think he's going to Tesla. So I'm actually going to go for a Knight here, and should kind of do a really good job at just stopping him from going for what he wants. He's going to have to rocket now, but at this point it's far too late, I would say. Yeah, going to be game. Unless he goes for an Xbow on the left, maybe that's going to be his plan and try and tower trade, but I have enough elixir to stall it out. I can go like archers, fireball, log, and then double cycle cards should basically take out the entirety of the Xbow. But yeah, he's not playing anything, so I think he gave up. So basically against Icebow with this matchup, it is 3.0's matchup, especially in single elixir. You definitely want to outcycle them and punish them. A good Icebow player will go for a defensive Xbow early to anticipate you going in and force you to fireball instead of giving you the initiative. But for me, I was kind of proactive, took the initiative into my own hands, and as a result, I was able to get a really nice connection and just win in singles. So really nice way to punish Icebow if you guys need it. Also, a big part of it was my Knight at the bridge. Really nice little play there. To force the Valkyrie out, just get his cycle exactly what I wanted it to be, so I could proceed with my own punishment there. So really nice plus 28 Xbow mirror matchup of sorts, and that's going to put me 1 win away from 7,000 trophies. Alright guys, getting into the next match against Genie King, has a top 600 global tournament or a ladder finish. I'm not sure which one it was actually, but going to be a pretty decent player here. And goes for an Xbow first play. Interesting. Going to go for a Knight and Tesla, and he goes for skeletons. Okay, that's actually really annoying because that actually stalls my Tesla out. I'm actually surprised he didn't play anything in front of that, because he had the time to. I mean, Tesla was getting stalled by the skeletons. We're going to Xbow now, find out what he has since I have a Tesla alive. Goes for a Tesla of his own, going to go skeletons, and perfect skeletons timing there. Didn't even intend on it, but get the skeletons down. Going to Ice Spirit to predict. Okay, goes for a Musketeer. Going to Archers as well to take it out. And yeah, perfect skeletons timing there. I had no idea he was going to Snowball, even though it is on his banner. But basically it worked out super well for me. I'm actually just going to ignore this Musketeer, not go for a log, because he could go Xbow again at 6 if I log, and then I'll be at like 2 low elixir to deal with it. So I'd rather just take that damage and not risk losing the match. But really perfect skeletons timing there, did not get hit by the Snowball. Allowed my Xbow to take out his Tesla pretty much. Just going to cycle log here. And he's not actually playing anything, so I'm going to Xbow. Let's find out if he's just leaking or if he gave up. Actually, I think he might have given up because, yeah, we already got 2,400 damage on his tower, so Pretty funny, I guess, having two people in a row give up, this person and then the previous person, both Xbow matches as well. But I guess I'm just playing these Xbow matches pretty well. My opponent also played this really aggressively with the Xbow first play. I don't really agree with that because you can definitely get punished like my opponent did here. But just gonna try and 3-crown him pretty quickly. Gonna go for the strategy of going for multiple knights and archers instead of an Xbow, because believe it or not, it's actually a faster way of 3-crowning. Xbow does not really do that much damage, so I think this is going to be better, but really happy. Got, I guess, a free win, technically. I'm not sure. We had Musketeer, Snowball. Since Snowball's in there, I can only imagine it would be Xbow Pump or PumpBow, because Snowball isn't really in any other Xbow deck, and he didn't have a big spell, it looked like, as well, because he tried to defend my Xbow without going for any major spells. That's going to put me at 7,000 trophies, just barely top 3,000 in the world, and really nice wins there against Xbow players. Alright guys, hopping into the next match against Ryan #1, who has all 3 CRL 20-win badges. Pretty interesting, so should be a pretty good player here. Gonna give him the good luck. And Ramrider first play, I don't have a good cycle for this. I'm actually just gonna offensive Xbow. And we do unfortunately see a cannon card, so that kind of sucks. Gonna go for archers and then log to make sure this Ramrider doesn't get too much damage, but unfortunately, yeah, it is gonna charge. Skeletons were actually not really necessary, I guess, but don't need to respond to the cannon cart. So if you guys didn't know, Xbow against cannon cart does not fully take it out, but it will leave it in range for your tower to take the cannon cart out in one hit. If you do want the Xbow to take the cannon cart out before it crosses the bridge, you're going to have to commit either skeletons, ice spirit, or a log to make sure that happens. But Ramrider, cannon cart, Snowball, and Zappies, I'm actually just going to Fireball because he got quite a lot of damage there. Kind of starting handed me with the Ramrider, not going to lie, because Tesla was nowhere in cycle, so that kind of sucks, but it's fine, I guess. Zappy coming down, and Bandit gonna go for a Knight. Okay, Tesla and Ice Spirit as well. Ice Spirit actually wasn't played perfectly, but I think this should still defend everything really well. Yup, it will. So he spent 5 with the Bandit, or 5 with the Ramrider, 3 with the Bandit, and 4 with the Zappies. I spent 4 with the Fireball. So he spent a total of 12. I spent Fireball, Tesla, Knight, Ice Spirit. So that's a 12 for 12. Yeah, we're pretty much even on Elixir, so totally fine with that. Plus I got Fireball damage in the right, so it worked out pretty well. And he has a Dark Prince as well, so this is definitely going to be Bridgespam. The question is, what's his spell going to be? Because he already has the Snowball revealed, but if he has like a Poison or a Fireball, it might actually be pretty tricky to come back here. Gonna Xbow and then Knight to break the cannon cart, because he just spent 4 with the Zappies, and pretty well played of him to not just knee-jerk cannon cart, because he probably would have lost the cannon cart since I predicted it, but instead he does have a bar barrel as well. Gonna catch it with the Ice Spirit, however, sadly cannon cart walks. Imagine if it didn't walk up, that would have been so nice, but it just barely walks up to the point where it can snipe my Xbow. However, I can go for a Tesla and not get sniped by the cannon cart, so that's pretty nice, I guess. Unfortunately, it is going to hit my Xbow, so that'll kind of prevent me from Xbowing for a while, but let's just get ready for this next defense, and then I think I will Xbow once the cart dies. Knight as well. Once again, he's back to cart, so I have to predict that. Bandit, bar barrel should come down next, and we just barely didn't get a connection, unfortunately, against skeletons, and Snowball does take it out. So bar barrel, Snowball, that Ice Spirit was pretty bad, actually. Should have gone Ice Spirit on the left. That's my bad. We'll actually take some damage for that, so that's definitely on me, but bar barrel, Snowball is actually a really hard counter to Xbow, which is why Balloon Cycle is such a hard matchup, because they can actually just spam bar barrel, Snowball, Ice Golem, Balloon, whatever. Gonna have the defensive Xbow this Ramrider, unfortunately, because Tesla's nowhere to be found. Gonna log as well to reset the charge, at least make sure my Xbow stays alive a little bit, and then Xbow will take care of the remainder of those Zappies. Gonna go for a Knight for this Dark Prince, and he doesn't have a Magic Archer so far, it looks like. I think he would have played it already, so this is definitely possible to come back. I don't think he has a big spell, because I think he's revealed all of his cards. So we can actually just low-key log cycle him out. Actually going to Fireball log that cannon cart in the left, because it will put me in the damage lead if I log it as well. And I definitely will, because that's nice value on the Zappies as well. And the good thing is that I can actually start spell cycling same lane if I want to, which means he can't really build up pushes from the back. Like Bandits, I'll Fireball them off. Stuff like that, and cannon cart. But I'm going to Fireball those 2 Zappies again, because that is going to be lower HP tower afterwards. Perfect Ice Spirit as well, really nice micro coming in. And I'm actually going to go Knight to Xbow this time, because he just wasted his cannon cart. Plus I have a defensive Xbow surviving. I'm going to try and trick him here, Tesla to pull the Ramrider above, and he does do a pretty smart job of going for a preemptive Dark Prince. If he didn't do that, he actually might have gotten destroyed by the Xbow locking on. Fireball on the Zappies, maybe it wasn't the right play. Actually just gonna eat this bandit, I think, and does kind of work out because I can afford to. But maybe I should have just logged and then chilled because I didn't break through anyways. But gonna Tesla up high again. Maybe try and make the Ram Rider jump. Okay, it doesn't. Gonna Ice Spirit to catch the Barb Barrel. And Dark Prince should come over to this Tesla as well. Okay, Archers and Log to take out the Zappies if I can. Okay, it doesn't really work out. But at the same time, he can only get Snowball damage if I defend perfectly. So all I really have to do is survive a little bit longer and maybe get 1 Fireball and 2 Logs on his tower. Gonna Ice Spirit to make sure the Ram Rider gets reset. Gonna Log, Fireball, and then we can definitely get back to a second Fireball if we need to. Although I don't even think we need to. We might actually just be able to Fireball on defense here. Gonna Tesla for the Ram Rider. Knight here, Log on defense, then I will get back to another Fireball. All I have to do is just stall this push out for a little bit. So that's gonna work out really well. Really nice win and comeback. Pretty easy matchup. All I had to do was defend. You guys, sometimes if you realize you can't actually ever break through by going in constantly like I did, you do have to switch up your game plan and play defensively in Spell Cycle, which is exactly what I did to walk away with the win. Alright guys, so getting into the next match against Johnny Loves No Skill. We are 1 away from 7,050 plus, which is going to be my stopping point. So he gives the Crying King face right away, which tells me he's either upset about the matchup or... actually, I guess that's the only thing that I can think of. He goes for a Zap. I'm actually going to Xbow. Yeah, he goes for Sparky, so definitely going to Xbow opposite lane. And he just wasted his Zap, so it shouldn't be too bad. He's definitely going to ignore it and try and tower trade, so we're going to have to get a nice defense. I actually lost in my video yesterday I showed you guys in the same exact situation, but I think I'll be able to defend better this time. So I'm going to go for a Tesla. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push the Sparky into the Tesla. He actually does ignore it and looks like he's going to Goblin Giant in the left. So I'm going to push the Sparky into the Tesla, then go Knight plus Archers. Sparky does get taken out perfectly, and actually should have gone for Skeleton sooner to... distract the mini P.E.K.K.A, but we're still just going to be totally fine. Going to log the spears, and just like that, he is laughing a ton. Going to give him the Global Tourney emote, and I guess BM him a little because he's just spamming laugh. He went for Sparky first play technically, so I mean, what can I say? That kind of sucks though, Mother Witch. I wasn't expecting that. Not the best Ice Spirit, I guess, because I kind of just walked right into that, but I had no idea he'd have Mother Witch. Usually these decks don't really have Mother Witch anymore. But I'm going to give him this emote as well, and he's spamming WoW now, which is actually pretty funny. It looks like he's kind of switching up as soon as I show him my emotes, which is actually pretty hilarious. Like, people who just spam, now he's giving the love emote, so, and WoW. So literally, as soon as I show that I actually have good emotes, he switches his attitude, which is pretty hilarious to me. But anyways, I'm going to BM him a little bit more for fun, and then let's just try and get a nice defense going on the Sparky push. So Goblin Giant Sparky raid should be a pretty good matchup for me, I think, especially with this lead. And just going to get a Tesla ready for this Sparky. Okay, he actually goes for a mirrored Sparky, so I'm just going to log this first one and try and get ready for a defense on the right side instead with a Tesla. I'm not going to Ice Spirit at the bridge, even though I want to, because I'm going to have to strap up for a nice defense here. But Mirror in this deck actually does turn it into their matchup, or at least a much harder matchup, I would say. A lot of Xbow players agree as well. Cycling back to another Tesla, though, and have a Knight as well to protect. And the Tesla on the right should take care of the Sparky. If not, I do have Skeletons back in cycle now, but yeah, totally fine. And nice little defense on the left. We did take a little bit of damage, and we are down a little bit of Elixir, but we should be fine overall. Gonna Xbow on the side of the Sparky this time, because he likes to push opposite. Okay, this time he pushes same lane. Might mirror his Goblin Giant. I'm not sure if he's back to it or not, but gonna Tesla and see. Yeah, there it is. So gonna have to go for a Knight to tank. Ice Spirit to just kind of freeze this, log the Spear Goblins away, Skeletons to distract the Sparky for a little bit, and then gonna have to Fireball all of that. Sparky is just barely going to get a hit, unfortunately, but thankfully it doesn't take my tower. That was scary. I really thought it would hit my Xbow, so that was kind of unlucky. But still, all I have to do is get back to a log. Just gonna Tesla for the Goblin Giant, might as well, and then just log, and that's gonna be the win. It's gonna BM him a little bit because he was spamming emotes right at the start, and then he kind of just switched after I showed him my 21 emote, which is hilarious. But anyways, that's gonna be a wonderful win, and gonna put me at 7,068 trophies, top 2,000 in the world, which is perfect. Exactly the milestone I was going for, as I talked about in my video yesterday, so really happy about it. Really happy to keep this kind of win streak and ladder push going. And had some really nice games. So Goblin Giant Sparky Rage with the Mirror, Ram Rider Bridgespam with the Cannon Cart in there. We also did win against the 2 Xbow decks, Muskbow, or PumpBow with the Musketeer, and Icebow, as well as an impossible matchup in Drill. So overall, really nice video, I'd say, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. video. So thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one where I'll probably do some more ladder pushing.